I wanted to share with you some thoughts, ideas, and additional reflections I've had about this week's material. I know it was a long lecture and covered a lot of material regarding teaching tools, strategies, and encouraging student engagement. Important topics. All the tools I introduced are awesome. All the strategies I described are terrific. Everything I discussed is backed up by research. There's just one problem. The problem is, when you are faced with a struggling reader, you have two choices. Number one, you can focus on teaching reading skills. Remember the formula discussed in this week's lecture. Reading ability presumes two fundamental criteria: the ability to decode at the word level and linguistic comprehension. Does a struggling reader need to develop reading skills? Your second choice deals with what we covered in the lecture. Do we encourage struggling readers to use tools to compensate for their difficulties in lieu of developing reading skills? Is that what we want? Oh, it's okay. Audiobooks are the solution for this student's needs. They can use them for the rest of their lives. I am not so sure that approach is a good idea. Inclusive education classrooms are busy places. Learning goes on apace. Maybe there's no time to slow down to teach reading skills to an individual struggling reader. There are so many demands on your time. Eureka! A tool is found to support the student's learning, so we use it. They can keep up, so while they may be getting the information, in return, they are not developing reading skills. Are reading tasks being avoided? Pragmatics come into play, after all. The students are still learning the material through their tools. They are keeping up. You are delivering the curriculum. Is this at the expense of actual skills development? There is a robust body of research that shows how reading skills can be effectively taught to struggling readers. The research is there. Are we using it? It does take time. It takes time and focus. Some of these skills will benefit the whole class. But some students will require additional time and individual support. That's why it's important to understand the inclusive education system. It's not just what happens in your classroom, but the whole system. It's the underpinning beliefs, culture, and social systems you need to understand. Consider what is being included. Who is included? That's easy to answer. Everyone. But what is included in the instruction? And what is being ignored? Also consider what is being actively excluded. If our solution is to provide tools for struggling readers, then we may well be excluding the direct teaching of reading skills. To illustrate, one deaf student was raised on her First Nations reservation. She came to my program when she was in grade 9. You see, her local elementary school wanted to include her in the local program. They gave her an iPad to facilitate communication, so she could swipe and select and it would speak for her. Fine. When she came to my class, I taught using ASL. I asked her to read a passage and tell me what it meant. She didn't understand it. She didn't have enough language. I asked her to write a paragraph. She did. But the passage had no verbs. Her vocabulary was severely limited. So if she wanted to write, "The man walked to the store," because she had no verbs, it would come out as "man's store." I would point out that the sentence needed a verb. She had no concept of what a verb was. She grew up with her family, who loved her dearly. The local school wanted to include her. Her teachers loved her. Her community loved her. But no one could communicate with her, so she grew up with no language, almost no language. So I had to begin instructing her to read using that formula. But remember, the fundamental criteria, decoding for meaning and linguistic competence, she didn't have. Her inclusive education ignored her language needs. She was included in the classroom, but her reading skills were ignored. You see what I mean by the question, what is being excluded? I purposely chose this unicorn image. To me, unicorns represent an ideal world of harmony and perfection. It's hard to let go of that unicorn. It's hard for us to let go of the unicorn of inclusive education. The ideal that inclusive education is de facto a form of social justice. I can't tell you how many administrators have assured me that, oh, we include everyone, and they think the system is perfect. What we need to remember is that inclusive education is a system. The system defines a student as included when certain boxes are ticked off, but it doesn't acknowledge the ways in which the child is excluded. And we see a huge disparity. Some students get great supports and others very little or none. Or the supports are provided for only certain learning needs and outcomes while others are ignored. It's systemic. You are about to become part of the system. Once you get your own classroom, you will see how everyone in your school is firmly committed to inclusive education. We've been trained for it. It's the expectation, and it is an important expectation. Policies inform teaching practice, but there are always gaps. Is that unicorn policy what informs your practice? I would encourage you to read this article if you have time. It talks about inclusive education as a system. Like it or not, you will be part of that system. You'll find there may be things you can change and others you cannot, as they are so entrenched in the system. Just something to think about. Have a good day.